Hello everyone, I'm very happy to meet you all once again, and lots of questions are coming and I am just trying to answer them in different orders. So this is a very interesting question from Kenneth Lim Wang from Singapore. He is asking, you mentioned that the soul comes from another world. How do you know such a world exists? Different orders. Very good question, Kenneth. These are the informations from the scriptures, revealed scriptures. This is not the knowledge that is acquired by our own personal experiences. You see, knowledge has to be received from a higher source. There are two ways of acquiring knowledge. One is called ascending process. By our own endeavor, through our senses, through our own experience, through our sense, we acquire certain knowledge. But there is another way of receiving knowledge that is called the descending process. The knowledge comes from a higher authority, meaning somebody who has the knowledge imparts the knowledge. It is understood that the proper way of receiving knowledge is from a higher source. Proper way of receiving knowledge is through the descending process. For example, how did you learn the alphabets? Did you learn the alphabets by means of your own endeavor? No. Practically with all of us, we learned the alphabets from our mother or our teacher, and whatever they said, we accepted. And in course of time, it has been verified. We accepted with simple faith that yes, A is A and B is B. And when we grew up and started to read, and it has been verified that A is A and B is B. In similar way, we accepted. Initially, the knowledge is accepted from the higher source, from somebody who has the knowledge or some source where this knowledge is available, and then in course of time, it becomes verified. Like for example, there is a country called Singapore. Before I went to Singapore, I read in the book of geography that there is a city called Singapore. And I accepted because the book of geography is an authentic source for this knowledge. And in course of time, when I went to Singapore, then I saw that there is a city and how it is and so forth. So similarly, this knowledge that I am talking about is coming from a source called the Vedas or scriptures, the wisdom from the higher source. The word Veda means knowledge. It comes from the root word vid, means to know, and what that has been known is knowledge. So Vedas are giving the information about another reality beyond this material nature. And now let us see how this information can be verified. Like we are in a world of matter, the matter by nature is inert. But you and I, although our bodies are made of matter, we are not inert, we are living. What causes us to be alive? It is the presence of the soul. And so, the soul we can see making matter function in a way which is diametrically opposed to the characteristics of matter. Now, the soul, we can consider whether the soul is a product of matter or the soul came from another reality. Now, through the ascending process, we can consider that, well, soul can be a product of some chemical combination that gave rise to consciousness. But the thing is, the problem with this conclusion is that so far no one has been able to show that chemical combination gives rise to an element that is conscious or living. Somebody may claim that due to chemical combination under certain condition, soul evolved or life evolved. But so far no one has been able to prove that. So let us consider the proper information is coming from another reality. And the higher source is saying that it is the presence of the soul. And since time immemorial, all the civilized human society have accepted that the soul exists, and it is due to the presence of the soul that the body is alive. Like, it's a common consideration that when somebody dies, we say that he passed away. Like now, the dead body is lying there, then why we are saying that he is gone or she is gone? Because it was accepted that it is the soul that kept the body alive, and now that the soul left the body became dead. So in this way, you can see that in the human society, it was accepted as an absolute truth, the existence of the soul. And now, if the soul cannot be generated, if the soul did not generate from dead matter, then obviously it had to come from another reality. We are not concocting something or speculating something. We are simply imparting the wisdom that has already been existing, and it has been accepted by the most intelligent, most exalted group of individuals. And we are speaking about it, and like the intelligent class of people are hopefully going to accept it. Like, there was a time when I was an ignorant, I didn't know anything, but I came across a teacher who gave me this information from, based on specific books or scriptures. And in course of time, I have become convinced that yes, that is true. And with my own experience, I am seeing that this is the reality and this is the truth. So this is the basis on which I am claiming, or I am repeating, I am saying that the soul came from another reality, and therefore another reality, another world exists beyond this material nature. This is a temporary reality, and this temporary reality is a reflection of that absolute eternal reality, the spiritual reality of the spiritual sky. Thank you very much, Kenneth. I hope I have been able to answer your question. And please feel free to ask if you have any question on top of this. I'll be happy to answer. Of that absolute
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী। গোপীজন বল্লভ গিরিবর নারী। যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ যমুনা তীর বনচারী। যমুনা তীর জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী। গোপীজন বল্লভ গিরিবর নারী। জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja
Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees who are kindly assembled here for attending this weekly Thursday Guru Maharaj class. So we are continuing the series of Garga Samhita, and we will also be having a quiz after the session. So all devotees are requested, they can release the nectarian stories that Krishna's pastime from Garga Samhita, and at the end they can attempt the quiz. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. At the end they can attempt the quiz.
Hare Hare. So why do we sing this song every morning, every time before the class? Tava Kathamritam. Who can tell me?
Why?
Yeah.
Because you're glorifying Prabhupada.
Very good. Before that, Tava Kathamritam. What does Tava Kathamritam means? Tava means your. Your means Krishna's. Kathamritam means nectarian words. Amrita, my Katha. Tava Kathamritam. So what does the nectarian words of Krishna do? Tapta Jivanam. Tapta means very hot, burning. Our existence in the material nature is like, every morning we sing Sangsara Dava Nalalita Loka. As if we are burning in the forest fire of material existence. We are burning, but do we feel that we are burning? Why is that? We are burning, but we don't feel the burn. Why is that? Very good. That is Maya, due to Krishna's illusory energy. Due to Krishna's illusory energy, we don't experience the terribly suffering conditions that we are in. But in reality it is Tapta Jivanam. Due to Krishna's illusory energy. And what does Krishna consciousness do? Krishna Katha do? It extinguishes. Sansara Dava Nalalidha Loka Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatam. Tranaya, in order to deliver us from that suffering condition. So, Krishna Katha, words about Krishna, relieves us from the suffering condition of material existence. Just like the torrents of rain can extinguish the forest fire. Otherwise, it's very difficult to extinguish the forest fire. And they have to make so many different arrangements. Nowadays they can extinguish, but after a lot of trouble. Like in America, in some places, you get this big forest fire. And it comes to the edge of the city, practically the whole city is about to be burnt to ashes. And what do? They have all kinds of arrangements. They go with the planes and they spray the fire extinguishing element. But by nature's arrangement, Ghana Ghanatam, torrents of rain. So Krishna consciousness is like a torrent of rain that extinguishes the forest fire of material existence. Do you feel that you are suffering? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So you have become free from Maya. So this is how we are actually blessed by Krishna's nectarian words. This Krishna Katha or Tava Kathamritam are of two kinds. Words spoken by Krishna himself and the words that have been spoken about Krishna. What are the words that have been spoken by Krishna himself? Bhagavad Gita. And about Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam and other such scriptures. So many scriptures spoken. Like Garga Samhita is one such scriptures that we are discussing. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam and Kobibhir Iritam. Who describe this Krishna Katha? Who speak and distribute this Krishna consciousness? Kobibhir, the most learned and advanced spiritual personalities. Who describe this Krishna Katha? Who is the original Kavi in that respect? Adi Kavi. Who is the Adi Kavi? Lord Brahma. Very good. Tene Brahmarida Adi Kavaye Muihanti Jat Surayaha. So Brahma, Narad, these are the personalities who distribute Krishna consciousness. They are the Kobibhir Iritam. And as a result of that, kalmashapaham. These narrations, these nectarian narrations of Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's teachings destroy all our sinful reactions. Kalmasha apahanam. And as a result of that, the sinful reactions are stolen away. Kalmasha apaham. And Shravana Mangalam. When we hear these nectarian words, it brings all auspiciousness. Shravana Mangalam. And Srimadaatatam. It gives us the greatest spiritual wealth. And Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Those who distribute these nectarian words of Krishna, they are indeed the most munificent personalities. Bhurida Jana. So we sing this, as Chandrasekhar pointed out, this is in glorification of Srila Prabhupada. Who is that Bhurida Jana? Who is that most munificent personality? So are you all benefiting from this Krishna Katha?
Yes.
How many of you didn't fall asleep during the class today? Did not fall asleep. And how many of you fell asleep? Is it? I'm inspired. Inspired because when Lord Ramchandra killed Kumbhakarna, you know Kumbhakarna? Ravan's brother. Kumbhakarna used to sleep throughout the year. And only one day he used to be awake in a year. So Kumbhakarna was a big shelter of Nidra Devi, goddess of sleep. So when Ramchandra killed Kumbhakarna, with tears in her eyes, goddess of sleep, Nidra Devi, approached Ramchandra. You took away my biggest shelter. Where shall I go now? Ramchandra said, don't worry. Wherever there will be Bhagavad Katha, you can go there. Do you think I'm lying? It's up to you. So, don't you see that? When somebody comes and tells me that he or she cannot sleep, I tell them, go to ISKCON temple and sit in the Bhagavad class. And it works. So those who fell asleep, that shows that the real Bhagavad Katha was going on. So, yeah, what are the other benefits? Other benefits? Ramananda, where is that? What is the other benefits? And somebody has told me that although I heard these stories, but it's so wonderful to remember them again. And so that's the thing, like Krishna Katha should never become boring. More we hear, the newer and newer realization it gives. What to speak of when these descriptions are more detailed. And there are some books like that, there are so many books like gives detailed descriptions of Krishna's pastimes. For example, the Mahabharata is there, here, has number of shlokas. I think Mahabharata has about 100,000 verses. But in the heavenly planets, Mahabharata is 10 times larger. Why? It is more descriptive. More details are there. So the scriptures also come with new and near revelations. Don't you feel that? Reading Bhagavad Gita, it is coming with greater realizations. Each time we, at least I'm sure most of us experience that even Prabhupada's purports, so often we notice, oh, this thing we didn't notice it before, what Prabhupada is saying. The reason is, the more we make advancement, these realizations become more and more extensive. This is the thing about spiritual practice. More we make advancement, automatically the awareness of Krishna, awareness of spiritual teachings become more and more clear. And actually what happens, in spiritual advancement or in spiritual life, our understanding is not acquired from external source. The actual understanding is coming from our internal realizations, inner realizations. Tene Brahmarida. The transcendental knowledge was revealed in the heart of Brahma. Divya Hriday Prakashita. The transcendental knowledge is revealed in the heart. Divya Hriday Prakashita. So that is the meaning of revelation. Spiritual awareness, spiritual knowledge is a matter of revelation. It's revealed in the heart. And that's the difference between recollection and revelation. So, recollection is from the memory. We have it in our memory and we recollect. We collect those informations. But revelation is a matter of being revealed. We are not aware of it before. It was not there in a memory or anywhere. It is from the heart it is revealed. The spiritual awareness is a matter of revelation. But hearing, it helps. By hearing, the revelation becomes accelerated. Anyway, so therefore it is very important that we associate with senior devotees, more advanced devotees. Sadhu Sangha Sato Bari. We should seek for more advanced association. Why? Because from more advanced association we can get greater and better informations. We can get the informations from by reading books, but that's not enough. By reading books is not enough. In order to, the books have to be clarified. Therefore we need a teacher. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam. And what is his qualification? Jnaninas tattvadarshina. He has the knowledge. Therefore he can give it to us. So who is a teacher? One who has the knowledge. And that's the matter with every aspect of acquiring knowledge. Can a child take a book of ABCD and learn? No. But somebody who knows the ABCD teaches him. And that way our sphere of knowledge increases, go higher and higher. And ultimately, it comes to the scripture. All knowledge must lead to the scriptures. Spiritual information, spiritual knowledge. And we have to find a spiritual teacher, the spiritual master, Sadguru. And what is the qualification of a Sadguru? Bona fide spiritual master. The qualification of a bona fide spiritual master is that he is a transparent medium. He is transmitting the knowledge just the way his guru gave it to him. Transparent. Transparent means the light is not obstructed. There are different types of medium of light. Translucent. No, first is opaque. Opaque is the substance through which no light passes. Then translucent. Some light passes, but some lights are obstructed. But some are transparent. In transparent, there is no obstruction of lights. Transparent. Now it actually, although it states, it is mentioned about transparent, but it even goes beyond that. What is beyond that? Beyond transparent? Very good. Magnifying. Say a glass, no light obstructs. But with a lens, what happens? The object becomes bigger, magnified. And what is beyond that? What is beyond that? Did you say something, Madhavendra?
Transcendental.
Transcendental, no. Transcendental is there. Transcendental is the object. Telescopic. Isn't it? What is a telescope? Many lenses are there. So that is telescopic. So not one medium, but many medium. That is Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara aspect is the entire Parampara. Like a telescope has, what is a telescope? A set of many lenses. So, there are many such personalities are bringing the distant object, as you said, Srivas, transcendental object, Krishna, close to us. So, that is the process. Isn't it scientific? Always remember that Krishna consciousness is a science. Krishna consciousness is not just some sentimental presentation. It's a science. What's the definition of science?
Realize that you can be proved
Theory.
Okay, close. Quite close. Theory and proof. Okay. What is science? What is the definition of science? Experimentally verified facts. Let's hear from a brilliant scientist here. So, okay, so can Krishna consciousness be experimentally verified?
yes.
Everything can be experimentally verified. Does the soul exist? How do you prove that? Nimesh? No, what's your name? Anish. Anish.
There's a difference between, it's very evident that there is a difference between the dead body and the living body. One cannot have the same feelings for a dead body as for a living body. I mean, there is loss of some substance in the dead body.
What's the difference between a dead body and a living body?
Is the loss of soul in the dead body.
Okay. One is a body with soul, the other is body without soul. Does matter have consciousness? So, a body with a soul, although made of matter, has consciousness. Where does the consciousness come from? And when the soul leaves the body dies. Existence of the soul is proven, right? Like the problem with today's world is that they want empiric proof, meaning proof that can be seen, that can be perceived by senses. Right? But that's the mistake, that's the fault. Like, senses cannot perceive everything. For example, do you have a mind? Have you seen it with your eyes? Did you touch it with your hand? Did it smell it with your nose? So with your senses, could you perceive your mind? But do you accept that you have a mind? Huh? So, how do you prove the existence of the mind in your sense perception? But yes, you can understand that you have a mind. How? By your intelligence. The senses may not perceive it, but with your intelligence you can conceive it, comprehend it. Right? So similarly, with your intelligence you can appreciate the existence of the soul. Therefore, it has been always said that it takes a very intelligent person to understand this spiritual subject. Sudhir bhokta dugdham gitamritam mahat. The nectarian words of nectarian wisdom of Bhagavad Gita can be appreciated only by very, very intelligent individuals. Now, is it surprising that not many people are accepting Krishna consciousness today? Is it surprising? Why not? Tulsi Manjari?
So much study you said it's right. Only intelligent people can understand
Yeah.
this real knowledge.
In today's world, there are very few intelligent people. The whole world is full of idiots. So, so that's why Bhagavad Gita. But the devotees are creating their intelligence. Devotees are going out and making them understand, and this is how they're they're sharpening their blunt intelligence. And therefore, there is a need for preaching. So this morning, I discussed about Krishna's arrival in Mathura. Now, as I mentioned, that there are many things that I am not able to discuss or describe because of, I have to compile everything or compact everything within this short span of time. So, but still I thought that one anecdote that I will mention. You remember Krishna killed the washerman? And okay, let's just go deeper into that also. Do you know who is that washerman? That washerman, don't speculate. If you don't know, keep quiet. During Ramchandra's reign, do you remember? One washerman was criticizing Lord Ramchandra's character. His wife was having some clandestine activity, some immoral relationship with some man. So while he was chastising his wife, he told, "Do you think I'm like Ram? His wife will have affair with somebody else and I will not tolerate, I will not say anything." So when Lord Ramchandra heard that people are questioning Sita's character, and so he banished Sita Devi. So it is that washerman was born as Kamsa's washerman. In that pastime, Lord Ramchandra didn't do anything, but this pastime, he wiped him out. Similarly, when Krishna was just going, he came across. You remember after that who came across? The weaver who dressed him up. Then Sudama, the flower artist, the flower garland maker. Sudama decorated Lakshmi, Krishna and Balaram. And then Krishna and Balaram came across a hunchback woman. She has been identified sometimes as Kubja. Kubja means hunchbacked. And sometimes also as Trivakra. Her body was bent in 3 places. So hunchback women are like that. So Krishna asked, "Who are you?" She said, "I am Kamsa's sandalwood paste maker." So Krishna said, "So will you give me some sandalwood?" She said, "Yeah. I was all this while I was serving Kamsa, but now that I have seen you, I decided only to serve you." And she decorated Krishna with a thick sandalwood paste and Balaram. And Krishna jokingly addressed her as the most beautiful woman. She was hunchback, anybody can see. She was far from being beautiful, but Krishna called her beautiful. Now, can Krishna's words ever go in vain? So what did Krishna do? Krishna pressed her toes with his toes and put his hands under his chin and gave a jerk. And her body became straight as a stick. And she became so beautiful. So she invited Krishna, please come to my house. And Krishna said, not now, I have some mission to accomplish, I'll come some other time. So Bahulasha asked, who is this hunchback woman who was so fortunate to receive such mercy of Krishna, from Krishna? Then Narad Muni told him, when Lord Ramchandra was in the forest, Panchavati, one morning Ram and Lakshman came after taking a bath in the river. And there appeared an extremely beautiful woman. So she said, please marry me. Ever since I saw you, my heart has become so afflicted that it seems that I can't live without you. Ramchandra could understand who that beautiful woman was. So Ramchandra told her, look, I'm already married. So marrying me is not really going to serve your purpose. Rather, you'll cause a lot of envy. Because my wife is already there. But my younger brother, he is single. So you rather approach him. So she approached Lakshman. Lakshman also started to reason with her that, look, marrying me, if you marry me, then you have to become subordinate to my elder brother's wife. So you won't like that. So even though he has one wife, but at least you'll become equal to her. So you better approach him. So she approached him also, Ramchandra. And this way went back and forth a few times. And then this lady became so upset that she assumed her hideous Rakshashi form and she wanted to devour Sita, thinking that Sita is the cause of all her problem. And at that time, Lakshman, with a knife, chopped off her nose and ears. Who was that? That Surpanakha actually became Kubja. And in this way, she desired to have the association of Lord Ramchandra, and although in Ramchandra's pastime he could not fulfill her desire, but in Krishna Chandra's pastimes he fulfilled her desire. So in this way, Krishna fulfills everybody's desire when one intensely desires something from Krishna. So Krishna then made Ugrasen the king. Ugrasen was Krishna's maternal grandfather, his mother's father. Not mother's father, mother's uncle, elder brother. his mother's father was Devaka, and Devaka's elder brother was Ugrasen. So in the Vedic custom, the eldest brother actually inherits the property. So now the question arises, why Krishna didn't become the king himself? And why didn't others persuade him? Because Ugrasen was quite old, Krishna was young, he was so powerful. Then we again have to go back to history. The history is, there was a king called Nahush. Nahush had a son called Jajati. King Jajati was hunting in the forest, and at that time he heard the cry of a woman. So he, following that sound, he came to a well, and he found that a beautiful young girl is in the well. So he rescued her. That girl happens to be the Daitaraj Vrishaparva's daughter. The king of Daitas, the king of the demons, is Vrishaparva, and Vrishaparva's daughter Sharmishtha. So, and Vrishaparva's guru, the guru of the demons is, who is the guru of the demons? Shukracharya. So Shukracharya also had a daughter, her name is Devjani. So one day, Sharmishtha and Devjani and other girls went to take bath, sport in the river. And at that time, Devjani by mistake put on Sharmishta's dress. So Sharmishta got very upset, and both of them quarreled, and Sharmishta threw Devjani in that well, and they all walked away. So King Jajati rescued Devjani. So when Shukracharya got to know what Sharmishta had done, so he became very upset. So he decided to leave Vrishaparva's court. And Vrishaparva, without his guru's direction, was in great difficulty. So he made truce with Shukracharya. And Shukracharya, Shukracharya gave Devjani in marriage to Jajati. And Devjani made a condition that Sharmishta has to become her maidservant. So Devjani got married to Jajati, King Jajati, and Sharmishta also went. Shukracharya was worried that this beautiful Sharmishta, Jajati can become attracted to her, and therefore he may associate with her and become being attracted to her. And so he made Jajati a condition that you should never have any sexual relationship with Sharmishta. That was the condition. Anyway, they went. Sharmishta was there, Devjani was there, and few children were born from Devjani. And Sharmishta also appealed to Jajati that she wanted to have his association. So being persuaded in this way by her, King Jajati had 2 sons from Sharmishta. When Devjani got to know that, she became very upset. She left Jajati's palace and went back to her father's house. In those days, that was the extreme that they used to go to, no divorce. At the most, go leave the husband's house and go to father's house. So, and then Jajati went, okay, Madhavendra. So, Jajati, when Jajati went to Sukracharya, Sukracharya cursed him that you become afflicted with old age. Jaragrastha. Jara means old age. And immediately he became completely old. Anyway, he came back to his palace and he called his sons. Oh yeah, and then when he appealed to Shukracharya, please, free me from that curse. I still have desire in my heart to enjoy like a young man. So then Shukracharya said, okay, if one of your sons accept your jara, your old age, decayed condition, then you can get back to your youth. So Jajati came back to his palace and he called all his sons. The eldest one was Jadu. So he asked Jadu whether he would take his old age. So Jadu reasoned with him that, look, I am young and I am not in a position to take your old age right now. So he refused. So Jajati cursed him that he'll never become a king. And none of your descendants will ever become a king. And now in which dynasty Krishna appeared? Jadu dynasty, in the lineage of Jadu. And they're meant not to be ever king, so Krishna didn't become a king.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for patiently hearing. So we also have a quiz. Quiz link has been posted in the chat box. So devotees can attempt the quiz. Meanwhile, we will read the today's quote. So it's 25 November. When we chant, we should not consider if people are recognizing us or not. What really matters is whether Krishna is recognizing us. When Krishna sees that you are sincerely practicing the process, then Krishna will be pleased and Krishna will reward you. That's what we should aspire for. Bhagavad Gita 8.2, Ujjain, 25th November 2005. Thank you everyone. So today's quiz link again I am sharing in the chat box. Today Guru Maharaj wonderfully mentioned about reason for praying, for singing the Tav Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam, that song. Also regarding the material suffering, Guru Maharaj mentioned. And then from Garga Samhita, Guru Maharaj mentioned that how Krishna was there, how Krishna pastimes of the Surpanakha and few of the pastimes from the Yati section. So devotees can attempt the quiz. I am sharing the quiz report here. There are 7 questions only. Total we have 28 participants. With the leading Divya Damodar 2 with 86% accuracy, and then Raspyari 57% accuracy, Arpita Paul Mataji with 57% accuracy, Ishwari Radhika Mataji with 43% accuracy, Sarmila Radhika Mataji with 43% accuracy, Ronik Kapoor Prabhu with 43% accuracy, and Sarnagati Radhika Mataji with 43% accuracy, Kritida Mataji with 43% accuracy, Janvi Mataji with 43% accuracy, Radhika Mataji with 29% accuracy. So now the score has been updated again. Divya Damodar Prabhu, then Ishwari Radhika Mataji, then Raspyari Mataji, then Arpita Paul Mataji, then Janvi Mataji, Sarmila Radhika Mataji, Arpita Sakhi Mataji, Rani Kapoor Prabhu. So this quiz will be active for 1 day, so devotees can attempt it. Hindu Vandani Radha Mataji, Divya Damodar Prabhu, and Hindu Vandani Radha Mataji, Ishwari Radhika Mataji. That's not much change. So final here is Hindu Vadani Radha Mataji is leading, and then Divya Damodar Prabhu and Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Arpita Paul Mataji and Raspyari, no, Arpita Paul Mataji. Okay, so all devotees can attempt the quiz, and they can again hear the lecture. It's on the YouTube. We will share in the PCS group as well. Thank you everyone for joining this weekly session of Guru Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, और